last week at this time, I was seeing Harry Styles, and I truly feel like I will never be the same person again after witnessing that show. It was amazing. It was amazing. I peaked that night. My outfit was fire. I felt great. The show was amazing. Like, I will never experience anything better than that. Also, I'm gonna ask that you guys bear with me today through this video. I got my booster COVID shot yesterday, and I'm definitely feeling way better than I did the first time, like my first vaccination, because I got the J&J, so like the first time I only had to have the one, and I had like a pretty bad reaction to that one. I had a really, really bad fever for a while. This one, I'm definitely feverish. Like right now, I was freezing, so I'm like bundled up, but now I'm starting to get like toasty again, so I might have to change clothes yet again. I am just so tired. Like I'm just so sleepy. But I need to get this video up because I am going on vacation next week and I need to be pre-filming some videos. I should have been smarter about this. But yeah, so I'm sorry if my energy feels a little low today. I knew I had to film, so we're gonna get through it. And also, I just want to say quickly before we get started, because I couldn't find Nicole, I couldn't find you on Instagram. But Nicole McCaw sent me these two books for my birthday. She sent me Voyeur by Fiona Cole and Inked in Lies by Gianna Darling. We're going to talk about both of these books and both of these series today, so these came at a perfect time. But seriously, Nicole, thank you so much. I tried to find you on Instagram. I couldn't find your so if you're on here, please like comment down below so I can thank you down there. Or like DM me on Instagram because I so appreciate these two books. Like that was so sweet opening these up and with the sweet happy birthday messages, and yeah. I'm ready to talk about these books. So today though, we are talking about my favorite romance series of all time. This was going to be my favorite series of all time in general, but I have too many other series, like fantasy and dystopian that I want to talk about. Because some of those are like adult, some of them are YA, and I just didn't really feel like they fit into this video. And also this video would have been so obnoxiously long if I would have included those. So I'm going to have that video up. We'll see what I can get pre-filmed. I was planning on having that up next week along with the recommendations video. We'll see. I will have one of those two videos up. I just don't know which one I'll be able to film this week. Yeah, but today is my favorite romance series of all time. I love series. I love when I find out that a book isn't a series because I really like spending time with characters for an extended period of time. The only requirements that I had today when I was picking these out was I had to have read every single book that is out in that series, because there are some that I haven't like finished them all yet and I am really liking. But for them to be my all-time favorites, I need to have read them all, or at least up through what is currently published, because some of these series are not like all finished. Some of them still have books coming out. Some of these are finished series, so I'll just mention that whenever I'm going through them. But I'm very excited to talk about these. I love talking about favorite books, and let's jump in. Okay, because like I said, that I'm just not feeling the hottest right now, and the idea of pulling like 40 books off my bookshelf and having to reshelve them just sounds like a nightmare. So I grabbed off my favorite book of each of the series that I have, but I'll talk about obviously the full collection. We're gonna start out with the Born in Blood Chronicles by Cora Riley. Y'all know, like this was gonna be on here, as well as Kimura that we'll get into next. But for the Born in Blood Chronicles, it is a mafia series. It consists of 8 books and 1 anthology collection. And they're also companion novels. So they follow 5 different couples. So one of the couples has 3 books, one of the couples has 2 books, and then the rest of them all get 1. And then the anthology collection is all of them together lumped in. This one is my personal favorite. It is Bound by Love. It is book 6, and this is Arya and Luca's second book. So they are the ones that you meet at the very beginning in Bound by Honor. That is their book. And then we go from there. Then we have Bound by Duty, Bound by Hatred, Bound by Temptation, Bound by Vengeance, Bound by Love, and Bound by the Past. And then the anthology collection is Born in Blood, or like Bound by Blood. And then Bound by Honor has a second book. So Bound by Honor is told completely from Arya's point of view. And then Luca Vitello, again, I don't think I'm saying that right, but I'm not Italian. So he has a second book titled that, and it is Bound by Honor told from his point of view. Just absolutely love this entire series. It's the first mafia series that I ever read, and it has stuck with me. I truly love these characters. I love spending time in this world. Cora Riley's writing just like flows. It's easy to read. I love the warring families. This one specifically follows families in the New York and Chicago mafia. And then we have the spin-off series, which I might as well jump into now, and that is the Kimura Chronicles. And this one is with the Las Vegas Mafia. So you do see some of the characters overlap and have different ties. So Twisted Loyalties, which is the first book in this series, that one is the younger brother from Arya, Gianna, and Liliana from the first series. So like he was originally from the Chicago Mafia. Things happen. He goes and joins Vegas, which is a no-no, but we get into that. I have, if this is sounding confusing already, I have an entire Core Riley Mafia guide video. I can link it down below, but I go in depth of like reading order, who these characters are, how they're related, where you should fit in, because there are some standalones within these worlds too. So definitely if you're thinking about jumping into these, you can check that out. I also have a reading guide on my Instagram and my highlight reel, so that way you can just like take a screenshot of that and then you know like what order, and you can just reference that as you're going, because there is some jumping back and forth a bit between these. But the Core Chronicles specifically, again, Mafia, like I said, except the Mafia out in Vegas, and there are 6 books, 5 couples, because Nico and Kiara, who have the second book, Twisted Emotions, they also have the 4th book, Twisted Bonds. They get 2, they definitely needed 2 books, and I just love them. So this one is my favorite out of them all, Twisted Pride. It is book 3. It's Remo and Serafina. However, I do really love 1, 2, 3, and 4, like almost across the board equally. The last 2 I really enjoyed. They're just not my favorite, but the first 4 literally can't go wrong. I do prefer this series over the Born in Blood series. However, they're both like fantastic, and I definitely recommend reading both, because you're going to catch up on so much more reading both of them rather than just reading one or the other. Tons of great tropes in both of these. I mean, obviously it's tons of arranged marriages, there's surprise pregnancies, enemies to lovers. Remo literally kidnaps Serafina. So there's that. One of the women in this book tries to run away from the Mafia, which that is a big no-no, so you know that he's gonna go hunting her down. Gianna and Matteo, their book Bound by Hatred is incredible. Just so good. And if you haven't read these yet, I feel like you're really missing out. There is a spin-off series starting. The first book, part 1, is out. It's Sins of the Fathers series. So the first book in that series follows Arya and Luca's daughter, Marcella. So it's like a spin-off now of some of their children, which I'm really excited for. I'm specifically excited for some of the characters from the Core Chronicles to be getting some books in there. But I mean, really so good, you can't go wrong. And also so many great book boyfriends. I love my Mafia men's to be simps and killers, and I mean, we're full of them in here. So I love these. Okay, next, another kind of obvious one if you know me. I mean, if you know me, you're gonna know a lot of these, but I'm just gonna reiterate them here because I love them. And that is the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. It is 4 books, technically 5 books, but one of the books is like a novella collection. So it's not like a full-blown story following just one couple. It's a collection of 4 novellas for each of the couples that are in the Off-Campus series. So they're companion novels, like I said, so they all take place in the same world, but just different couples for each book. This is The Mistake, book 2. It's my personal favorite, John Logan Supremacy on this channel here. I love him and Grace. I just think they're the cutest. So these all take place on a college campus, and they're all hockey romances. They follow 4 hockey guys and then all of their different women in their lives. And again, so many great tropes in these as well. The first one is like a tutoree. Oh my God, literally what is wrong with me? I don't know. Hannah tutors Garrett, and then also there's fake dating in that one. This one, I don't really know what the trope is. Maybe like second chance, kind of. Mostly because Logan screws up his shot at the beginning, and then like the next school year, he's trying to win Grace back because he's a dumbass, but he's the most endearing dumbass. And then the third one is kind of like enemies to lovers, enemies with benefits a little bit. I mean, they don't like hate each other, but Dean and Allie just have a little bit more of like a contentious relationship at the beginning. And then the last one is a surprise pregnancy trope. Lots of great ones. Even in that one, surprise pregnancy is not my favorite, but it actually really works in that one, and I do really like it. If you love college romances, if you love sports romances, you need to check these out. I feel like everyone already has. I mean, I feel like they're very popular, but I think there's a reason that they're popular. They're just so fun and so easy to read. I mean, this Mistake is really short. I think it's only around like 283 pages. And like, I don't think the other ones are that much longer. I'd say they're all like around 300, 350-ish. So like, they're really quick to get through. And just so fun and so cute. You know I wasn't gonna do this video without including this book or this series in here. Let me just preface again, like I say very frequently on here, read what you want to read. Don't tell other people what they can and cannot read or what they should and should not read. This is fiction. This is a safe space for things. What you read in books, I don't automatically think that you condone in real life. So when I'm going to talk about the series, just please, if you don't have anything nice to say, then just, you know, don't say it, okay? The Off Balance series by Lucia Franco. literally, I think my all-time favorite romance series of all time. I truly don't think anything will top this, in my opinion. I was so enthralled by these when I read them, and I genuinely think about them all the time. Hi, Arya. Hi, honey. Come here. Oh, do you want to say hi? Here, do you want some pets? Huh? Do you want some pets? Okay. I can talk while I pet you. I read this first for my first Banned, Forbidden, and Taboo reading vlog. I read the first one. And then, okay, bye. And then obviously I continued on, and then I did a whole other reading vlog, reading the rest of the series. So those are both on my channel. But truly, this is like epic. This is an epic series, in my opinion. The love story between Rhea and Kova truly is unmatched, in my opinion. I have never read a book series where I've rooted for a couple more, where I've hated a couple more. And sometimes, like, I had so many feelings towards Kova reading this, and at times too with Rhea, I was like, oh my God, girl, like, get it together. But that's what I loved. Like, I felt so many emotions reading it. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is a 5-book series, all following the same couple, so you have to read them in order. Starts off with Balance, so it goes, oh, I didn't name off what's in the other series, whatever. I mean, you can look them up on Goodreads. Balance, Execution, Released, Twist, and Dismount. Twist is book 4, my favorite book, but I mean, I really don't have a least favorite in the series. They're all incredible. They follow Rhea, who's a gymnast, and she has dreams of going to the Olympics, so her father agrees to send her to this gym, like farther away from home, so she gets like an apartment set up there and everything, and she meets her new coach when she gets there, Konstantin Kurnikova, aka Kova. And just, you know where things go from there. Or you really don't. You really don't with this series. There are so many little plot twists, so many different characters involved. So freaking good. Oh my God. So there is a very large age gap in this. Rhea's 16 and Kova's 32, I think, when they start. Obviously, by the end of the series, they're much older, but at the beginning, that's their ages when they start. Hence why it's extremely taboo. I mean, age gap, coach athlete, lots of tabooness. But I mean, I love the taboo, I love the forbidden, I love the angst, and this delivers in all of those departments. I really can't say enough good things about the series. I know it is not everyone's thing, so trust me, like, if you didn't like it, no harm, no foul. Like, I totally understand. However, for me personally, I just loved the shit out of the series, and I reread it over the summer, and it just further solidified how much I love this series. I truly I don't think I will ever love a couple more than I love Rhea and Kova. I'm like hard pressed to ever find another couple as epic as them. Okay, next we got the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas. So it starts off with Corrupt. This is book 2, Hideaway, my personal favorite. Book 3, Kill Switch, and book 4 is Nightfall. And then there are also 2 novellas, Conclave, which fits in between book 3 and 4, and Fire Night, which takes place after Nightfall. So it's like at the end of the series, a look into the future kind of all the characters. So these are companion novels, 4 different couples. Also now the like landscaping people just showed up, so oh my God. Okay, you might hear the grass getting cut, but I'm sorry, I'm so unwell. I just need to like make this video and like go to sleep. So I'm gonna do this anyways. This is definitely a darker series. I would say like a little more on the side of like dark romance. So if you haven't really read any dark romance, I do think that this is a good place to start because it's not like pitch black, but it's like getting a little hazy. Like you can't really see your hand too far in front of you, if you know what I mean. This follows the 4 horsemen. Each of them gets a separate book along with then their women. And in the first one, it's a ex-boyfriend's brother's romance, like older brother. Rika has always had a thing for Michael, even though she's dated his brother. I don't remember what his name was. I don't fucking care. This one is between Kai and Banks, and it's a brother's best friend and an arranged marriage romance, which is why I feel like this one is just so underrated. I feel like people stop after Corrupt frequently and they don't keep going when there are so many amazing tropes in this book, like the brother's best friend, arranged marriage, enemies to lovers, especially in the last book, enemies to lovers, second chance. Like all of these books are so good. They're all told in dual timelines taking place between the present, between the characters, and then also the past on this one Devil's Night that has changed a lot of things for the characters. Especially in the first one, we kind of get the groundwork laid because 3 of the horsemen are recently out of jail and they are out for revenge for who sent them to jail on that one Devil's Night, or who they think, and that is Rika. So obviously they like really harass her in the first one, but by the end, they all come around. But anyways, Hideaway is my personal favorite book. I just love Kai, I love Banks, and I think they're dynamic. Besides Winter and Damon, like I truly think that Winter and Damon are soulmates. But I truly think that Kai and Banks were just like meant to be together. You know how you read some books and you're like, yeah, I love that couple, but it's like, do I think that they're necessarily soulmates? I don't know. Like I just read the Skyscraper Cinderella trilogy by Kay Webster. And it's like, I don't think that these two necessarily are soulmates, but I love them together and it was a great read. This, Kai and Banks, I truly just feel kind of like with Rhea and Kova. They are fucking soulmates. And I just feel that way with Kai and Banks. 10 out of 10 recommend, especially if you picked up Corrupt and you haven't kept going. Corrupt is my least favorite book in the series, and I think you only have better things ahead. And do not skip Hideaway. I've seen people do that. They skip to get to Kill Switch because everyone loves Kill Switch, and Kill Switch is fucking amazing. That's my second favorite book, but do not skip Hideaway. First of all, you're missing so many plot things. These are not books that you can jump around, and they have to be read in order because as much as they are romances, there is a lot of like suspense plot involved in these, so don't skip it. Don't skip it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I told you so. I always say, don't let anyone tell you what you can and can't read, but you know what I'm telling you right now? Read it. Don't skip it. Okay? Good. Let's just get into the next Penelope Douglas series, and that is the Fall Away series. So it starts off with Bully, and then Until You, which is Bully told from Jared's point of view. And then we have Rival, and then Falling Away, which is book 3, my personal favorite, Jackson Juliet story. And then so it consists of 4 books, and then the next Flame, which is like a novella collection, kind of. So it has a Flame and Next to Never in it, which are both 2 novellas. And a Flame actually I think might be my overall favorite, but I pulled out this one instead. Normally novellas are not my favorite, but a Flame is Jared and Tate again, and I just really love where they were at in the future, and like I felt like it was so real. I felt it was so real. So I loved a Flame, but Falling Away is my favorite. This whole series is full of Bully, Grumpy Sunshine. This one specifically is Grumpy Sunshine. And then the second one is Step Siblings. I mean, come on. Lots of great tropes. I feel like really underrated because they aren't on Kindle, because they are like traditionally published books, or they were. So they are not available on Kindle, and they can be kind of tricky to find in stores. Like I can't find the US version of this book that's not like $70. So I have the UK cover of it. And I also have the UK cover of Until You because again, I can't find that one in the US for less than like $70. So they are trickier to find. My library had them, and that's how I first read them. And then I tracked down most of the paperback copies of them. I just feel like really underrated. And also I wanted to shout it out because the Hellbent series is coming soon. And that is a spin-off series of the Fall Away series. Penelope Douglas talked all about it on her Instagram. There are going to be 6 books, all following the kids of these ones and kind of like in that town and in that world. I'm so excited for it. I can't wait to be back with some of these characters, specifically Jackson Juliet. I'm excited to see them as parents. Okay, next is another, I don't feel like I've been saying that. All of the series that I've talked about are finished. Like they're done, they're taken care of, except obviously the spin-offs. So like the Sins of the Father series by Cora Riley, that's a spin-off series. That's obviously just coming out now. And the Hellbent series is obviously a spin-off, and that's going to be like coming out, but these series themselves are all finished. And this one is as well. And technically, is it a series? No, it's a duet, but I'm including it here, and that is The Truth About Duet by B. Celeste. So it consists of The Truth About Heartbreak, which is the first book, The Truth About Tomorrow, which is the second book, and then The Truth About Us, which is a novella following. This one is an age gap, and I can't really, oh shit, I think I spoiled something. Okay, I'm gonna cut that out in editing. I can't really even say who this book is about. Why did I pull this one off? It is my favorite. Super taboo, large age gap. I don't really think I can say anything more, but if you have an open mind going into it, and again, remembering that it's all fiction. Oh, these were my first B. Celeste books that I ever read, and they truly just sparked my love for her writing. They're so angsty, so emotional. This one's really taboo. Everything that I love. So the first one is a brother's best friend, an age gap romance. When you're getting B. Celeste, you're getting like really angsty, emotional writing, and not emotional in a bad way. I would just say like, it's like deeper. Like these characters have some like deeper issues, or their relationships really like test limits. I love it. I love this duet, and I just love B. Celeste in general. So pretty much anything that you pick up from her, is gonna be great. Okay, the last finished series, because then the last two that I have to talk about are both unfinished. So this is the last finished, and that is the Voyeur series by Fiona Cole. Voyeur is my favorite book. This and Another, which is the fourth book. I think I probably love them equally, but I mean, Voyeur's right here. And it's student teacher, age gap romance. What can I say? It's 6 books following 6 different couples. However, there is a character overlap between the second book and the fourth book, because Karina makes an appearance in the second book and she's kind of a focus in that book. However, that one's an MMF one, things happen in it, and then she gets Another, which is book 4, and that's kind of like more her focused, where Lovers, even though she's in, it's definitely more focused on Jake and Jackson. 6 couples though, all very taboo books for the most part. I think 4 maybe not. 4 is a surprise pregnancy, and I mean that's literally in the description, so it's not a spoiler. But this one, student teacher, age gap. The second one, MMF. The third one is like guardian ward, big age gap. Fourth one, surprise pregnancy. Fifth one, which is liar, uncle's best friend, big age gap. And then the 6th one, teacher, again an age gap, and friends to lovers. So all of these books center around this club, Voyeur, which is a sex club where people can go and pay to like watch scenes acted out in front of them, but it's like very, very exclusive, very like high-end club. And in this first one, Callum goes to the club and sees Oakland working, because Oakland is having to work there. She doesn't necessarily want to, but she needs money for college. She starts working there, and Callum starts attending, sees her, and then walks into class one day and realizes that she is his student. All see me. Again, these are all really quick reads. Like this one this one's only 286 pages, and I'd say they all average around that. They're all fairly short, very easy to get through, super steamy, super fun, taboo, but also like, I don't know, definitely not as taboo as like The Truth About Tomorrow or Off Balance. If you want to like test your taboo limits, this is a good place to start, but it's definitely not like pushing it, I think, like so far out of the box. I love Fiona Cole. I love her writing. The Blame It on the Alcohol series as well, so good. Only 2 books are out, and that one I can't wait for the 3rd. Just, if you haven't checked out Fiona Cole at all in general, check them out, but I really love the Voyeur series particularly. Okay, and last 2 series are both series that are still being worked on right now. So for this next one, Twisted Love, the Twisted series by Anna Huang, only the first 2 books are out, and you may be like, only 2 books are out. How do you know it's gonna be one of your all-time favorite? Because both of these books have not left my head. Twisted Love and Twisted Games, which is book 2. Both fantastic. Twisted Hate comes out in January. I am so freaking excited. It's like enemies with benefits. When Anna's been teasing the book, she's been doing like tropes and stuff, and she like crossed out enemies to lovers and put like enemies with benefits. Oh my God, I'm so excited. And that is going to be a best friend's brother romance. And we know them ahead of time. We've already met them. I'm getting ahead of myself again. 4 books, all companion novels. So this first one follows Ava and Alex. And Ava is a college student, and her brother is going away. I don't know where he's going. He's going to another country for work or something. And he asks his best friend Alex, who is an Iceman. He is icy, cold, brooding, closed off, no emotion, robot, CEO, occasional kill. Like this man, when I tell you this man, Alex Volkov, has not left my brain since this book. Her brother asks for him to kind of keep an eye out on Ava, and Ava starts like this Operation Emotion thing. She's just trying to get some emotion out of Alex. This is like the extreme grumpy sunshine. This has very much like touch her and I'll kill you vibes, brother's best friend, grumpy sunshine, even like the billionaire trope. Alex is a billionaire. We love that for us. We're just so blessed to have Alex in our lives, if you ask me. And the second one is Twisted Games, is a bodyguard romance trope between Bridget and Reese, and Bridget is an actual princess, like an actual princess. Royalty trope is not normally my favorite because I find it so outlandish. It was not outlandish in the least for me. And Reese, again, that man rent free in my mind. They have some throne time, if you know what I'm saying. Let me just tell you, some of the scenes in here too. Alex does not let business calls stop him from taking care of Ava, and I appreciated it. Thank you for your service, Alex. And then also Reese and Twisted Games. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Anna, for bringing these men into my life. So yes, only the first 2 books are out, 2 more to come. So they're all following the same group of 4 girlfriends. So Ava, this book, second book was Bridget, third book is going to be Jules, and the last book is going to be Stella. So, and you already get sprinkles of them in between. I think these don't have to be read in order, but I personally would, because why would you want to skip over Alex? You don't want to. You don't want to do that. Trust me. Okay, so last series is the Fallen Men series by Gianna Darling, and I just chose Inked in Lies to have over here because it's my favorite in the series, Beautiful Nova. So this one is a motorcycle club romance. So far, there are 6 books out, and there are like 3 novellas. It's kind of confusing because there's like a poetry collection that I haven't read, and I think there was another novella earlier on in the series that I haven't read, but then there was just another one released, Fallen King, that would fall in between Inked in Lies and Dead Man Walking, I believe. And that one I did read. So I'm pretty sure there are like 2 novellas, a poetry collection, and then the 6 books. I don't like poetry. I don't care about it. No offense. So I'm not planning on reading that. The 6 main books. As I said, motorcycle club. Tons of my favorite tropes. So the first one, we got student-teacher age gap. However, Cress is older than King. So King is a senior in high school and Cressida is his teacher. And I don't know how old she is. She's not that much older than him. But I mean, still, maybe like 10 years. Age gap and student teacher. The second book, most taboo book in the series, very large age gap. I think Lou is 17 and Zeus is 37. I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to spoil anything else. The third book, Good Gone Bad, is one of my other favorites. That one follows Harley Rose and Lion, and that one is like a guardian ward, again, age gap. And he's a cop, and she's obviously a motorcycle club princess. So there's those like lines. However, Lion like is in with the Fallen, kind of. Anyways, After the Fall is Cressida and King's second book. I don't talk about it. I don't like it. Inked in Lies. This one is Lila and Nova's book, and oh, it's brother's best friend, age gap, friends to enemies, lovers, not really enemies. It's more just they were childhood friends, or like more she always loved Nova, and then some things happen in the future at the beginning of this book that they're not on the best terms of, and then obviously they turn into lovers. So good. He's a tattoo artist for the MC, and she is like his muse. He tattoos her. Hot. And then the 6th book is Grumpy Sunshine, age gap, one of my other favorites, and it is between Bee, who is Lulu's sister from the 2nd book, so it's her younger sister. Very sunshine, church going girl, very like good girl, bad guy vibes. And then between Priest, and Priest is the MC's enforcer, and he is an actual psychopath, like a for real psychopath. So that is so fascinating to read. And just because B is like the stereotypical good girl, trust me, she does not shy away from the darkness of Priest, and that's what I love. The 7th book is coming out next year. Gianna Darling hasn't released yet who it's going to be about. Obviously, there's like a lot of speculation. I don't really care who it's about. I'm just excited to get more in this world. I love the forbidden and the angsty tropes, and these do have a lot of plot in them too, which I appreciate in my romance series. I don't just want people falling in love. I also want plot. Okay, I again just want to say I'm so sorry for the energy in this video. I know it's not normally what I can exude. But I wanted to make sure that you guys at least had a video this week, and I'm definitely not. I was gonna try to pre-record like another one back to back. I can't do that. I'm gonna go take a nap, but I will get one pre-recorded and be up next week. Like I said, it's either going to be all of my fantasy favorites, which I know not as many of you are as interested in. However, there is like romance in a lot of those fantasy ones, so maybe you'd still want to check it out. And if I have time and feel better, there will also be a recommendation video next week for a specific trope, one of my all-time favorites, and some of these books also feature it. So we will just see what I get through and get to, but that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Again, Nicole, thank you so much for my beautiful birthday presents. I'm so excited. My birthday is next week, and it's just wild to me. I for sure thought, because my parents got married at 24 and they had their first kid at 26, so I for sure thought when I was younger I was gonna follow the same path. No. So anyways, also, do you guys like my sweatshirt? Edie's, what Edie's? I don't think I say that a lot on here. I say it a ton on the pod, on Popcorn Chats, but my co-host, work wifey, and best friend got it for me for my birthday. That is it for today, and I will see ya when I see ya.